Okay, so we're going pretty good so far. The mic's actually doing well. I thought it would die a couple of videos ago. This video we're going to talk about God is authentic, or I'm going to still have to pay attention to if it's green or if it starts flashing. You flashing yet, buddy? But yeah, welcome back to another video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. No, I know you guys are going to enjoy this video because it's about authenticity, and it's about how God is authentic. Your higher self is authentic. Sorry, I just started staring off into the corner LEDs that I have, and I started tripping. But but no, seriously, it's I don't know how else to say it, guys. You're not connecting. Well, yes, you know what? I should say this. You are connecting with God if you're not being an authentic person. But the irony of that is you will get turned back to God. Let me give you an example. If this is you in your life, raise your hand. If not, you probably have scenarios or something that have shown you where you weren't being authentic. But for an example, have you gone to college just because someone told you to? And even if it was a safe option and you feel like you're glad you did it, but you knew it wasn't you, were there signs showing you that it wasn't you? Or how about somebody who has a group of friends where you just feel completely different from them? They may be troublemakers, they may be whatever. You may feel like your just mind is a bit more evolved and you got to get away from them, but you spent years just staying around them and nothing ever changed. Or, just scenarios like that where you're in a job or whatever and you just know this job is not you, you got to leave it, and it just feels like it's this knowing. Well, let me ask you something. What is that knowing? What is that intuitive feeling? Not the psychological conclusion that, yeah, okay, like given these patterns and those patterns, I logically should probably be away from this group. What is that sinking feeling within your gut that's like, I need to go away? Because to me, there you go. That's the divine. That's intuition. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's big, but that's what I mean by God is authentic. God is authentically you. When you are in a flow state where you're truly being you, that is authenticity. When you're being in flow, when you're like, okay, this group of friends, not me, doesn't align with what I think, believe, and feel, I'm going this way. And you go that way, you're connecting with God. When people talk about selling your soul, I really do think that one, I don't think you can sell your soul. I think you can just make choices, but I do think there are acts that are soul selling, like you're giving a part of your time here or whatever you do away. So is what the whole thing of selling your soul to like the music industry, definitely a real thing. Like that's no joke, because they control the way your soul is shaped as you're doing your career with them. But you know job you don't like. You trust in yourself, you have a knowing, you saved up enough, whatever, you're like, I'm going to go this way because this just isn't me. I can't keep doing this to myself. Maybe you say, and you're going this way because that's what you are. You are the self. You're the self before the egoic self. You can't keep doing this to yourself. There's something deeper within you that does not resonate with the path you are on. That is God subtly shifting you to the other way. Because why? This is all energy. I don't even say God this much in normal videos, but I'm just coming to realize just what we are, which is creators. Everything is always consistently energy. Whether you're doing yoga, whether you're not doing yoga, you're always energy. And that's from a YouTuber named Life is But a Dream. Love him. Had fucking amazing talks in a Zoom call with like a group of them. I think it was like 100 of us or something. And I was like somebody who rose up to speak because he wanted me to tell my story about how I was untriggered by someone who tried to do a life altering thing to me, a devastating thing in my path. But I felt no hurt towards them. I didn't feel hurt. I didn't feel pain. Didn't feel revenge. Wasn't even quick to anger. Somebody asked me, was I quick to anger? But this video is a good moment to bring that up because now that I'm in flow, I see why I'm bringing that up. But it's because when I'm being authentically myself, I understand that there's nothing outside of myself that can actually touch God. Because in the end of the day, if we're souls occupying this meat suit, then what outside of you is bigger than the power that's within you? Nothing. And that's the point that people are missing about this. People are sacrificing themselves. Like in the last video I just talked about, it's kind of all over the place, but I talked about spiritual embodiment versus spiritual masking. And this idea that there's something that you have to do outside of yourself, or this appearance that you have to uphold to be spiritual, is just not fucking true. I really guarantee you the most spiritually deep and in-depth person is more involving them their lives and experiences and having experiences over just meditating all day. But I won't lie, the individual meditating all day maybe super on that level too. Truth, two things can be true at the same time, you know? So, but I really do definitely think the person getting experiences, traveling, connecting with nature, connecting with people has a very, very spiritually enlightened life, depending on how they're going about it, whatever that means to them. But the reason I say that is because there's this idea that spirituality looks a certain way. No, it fucking doesn't. That is what you've been sold. Commercialized. You know, the ancestors are watching. The this. The be careful. Be careful. Make your mistakes. You ever heard somebody say that? Make mistakes, fall, get back up. That's the, and this is probably the wrong way to use the word, but I just want to use it because it sounds fancy. Antithesis. That is literally the core of spirituality. When people talk about a tower moment, when people talk about that moment where everything falls over in your life, people fucking leave your life. People are saying you're crazy now and all of this. It's literally the core of what spirituality is. You fall, get back up, but you get back up in a more divine mode. You break, all the pieces are the ground, and then you realize the beauty in all the pieces, and they all come back together to make this beautiful mosaic. Like, I don't understand how people miss that part. There isn't, you don't come into spirituality and become and try to be perfect. I gotta say all the right things. My language gotta change. That to me is sometimes a first indicator that somebody is putting on a mask, but it's okay because everything happens for a reason. So maybe they'll understand later on, or maybe it actually works for them. Maybe they truly feel and resonate with words like grand rising. I always poke fun at that stuff because my cousin was one of those individuals. I don't know if she is anymore. Probably would get mad at me. I just mean it in good fun. But I never resonated with people who did that stuff. But also, a part of me felt like, is there something I'm missing about what they're doing? But it was one of the biggest illusions I was falling for because I was having visions. I was predicting the future. I was literally predicting like qualities and things about a person that I didn't know that left the person asking me, bro, how do you know? Like, do you know me from somewhere? Ugh. Anyways, long story short, I had to cut that part out of the video part I was going to go into. But um, nonetheless, what I'm trying to say, and you see me rubbing my eyes because after I make these videos, I kind of want to leave these types of videos in the past because I don't want to talk about it anymore or talk about certain aspects that I am. I'll still talk about authenticity and your higher self, and your God self is the most authentic you. But I just want to leave alone talking about the little nuances of what people do because I feel like I'm keeping it in my awareness a little bit too much. But I just do it for people who may feel like they're lost, or if they find my channel and they feel like they've heard it a certain other way. It's like, you understand, it's awareness. You are awareness. You are the observer. So whatever you deem to be true or resonate with is maybe why that's pulling you in that direction. And maybe you should do it because maybe that's the most authentic path to you at the time. But do understand that the most authentic path for your life will truly become discovering you, or truly becoming yourself. It'll just truthfully becoming and accepting everything for what you are and not having to put up this mask. And it's okay in certain environments and areas that we put on a, more of course, we think about, not morality, that's not the thing, morals in public, but I'm thinking about courtesy. This idea of like, just don't be a disturbance in public and things like that. The catchphrase that I always say on my other channel is, "Be your authentic self as long as you're not stepping on anyone else's toes." Like, if you're not outwardly, deliberately hurting other people or just being a nuisance to other people, then be yourself authentically. Be as quirky, be as you are, because you will find power in the I am when you're having fun, when you're being yourself, when you're accepting yourself, when you're truly being in that loving state. That's how it works. So I say all this to say that just to be in your God frequency and to be on that higher self energy and tap into your gifts, it's about being you. And take whatever steps and walk your path to get there. I'm not trying to, again, if you're watching this video thinking that you got to now embody what I'm saying, no. I'm just saying be very mindful of your spiritual journey, because along my journey, that's a lot of what kept me stuck, thinking that there was this way or that way, or I had to do this, or I had to get certain crystals. And the thing is I never fell for the trap 100%, but it made it hard to have conversations with people that I was attracting at the time, because I would attract people that would like they would sun their sun their buttholes. Look, and and I get that that's a spot that doesn't get a lot of sun, so maybe there's health benefits of doing it, spiritual reasons, I don't know. But I just remember that I no, I gotta end this video after that. All I want no disrespect to anyone, man, that I've met in my journey. It's just I realized there's a lot of fear mongering. I had certain individuals that were literally like scared that like you can't claim you're a god or you can't say this, and it's like of course you can. They're just words. And also, if you are made in the image of something, that means you are literally that thing. And of course, not all the time, because it's like, oh, you're well, if something is made in the image of something, the second thing is artificial, which yeah, that would literally tell you that we're the artificial, we're the avatar of something higher, which would be ourselves. But still, to power this thing, that's why it's about frequency and energy. That's why thoughts and everything can affect your nervous system and all that. So no, it's just like you guys are like you guys people like man, if it was put in a book, one, and most of the books that say this, they don't say this, but if it was put in a book that it was blasphemy or certain things to call yourself the energy that created you or one with it or whatever, like I am one with God, I'm gilded in godly armor. So if you can't claim that, but then you can claim things like, "Oh, I'm a loser. I'm this, and I'm everything negative." It just doesn't make sense. Do you see where people's like lapse in logic works with this? It's like you're just saying words. Words have power, and you should feel the highest concept of yourself possible to get through this life, because so many people already complain about life as it is. But then when you come into this knowledge, you realize, oh shit, damn, life's actually beautiful. And then you start to realize self affirmations and the psychology of becoming one with oneself. It's like, bro, feel like you are on top of the world every day. Imagine not being able to say that. Like, I'm one with my creator. I don't need to read anything you fucking put out because I'm one with my creator. I get messages from my creator every day because this motherfucker made me. She made me awesome. He made me awesome. I'm one with her. I get godly powers from her. Can we say that? No. Oh, shit. It's BS, guys. Focus on yourself on this journey. Be authentically you. Do the things that feel authentic to yourself, and don't give in to the hive mind of what spirituality is supposed to be or things like that. And I'm speaking openly on this channel about that because I want, if anyone discovers these older videos, to realize I'm not a part of that new wave, new age stuff, because all of this stuff is ancient anyways. The Egyptians knew, the Aztecs knew. Shoot, the Mayas called themselves the Mayans. Maya, the word Maya stands for illusion. I think in Hindu mythology, it's Maya is abilities or energy. I talked about it in a video a long time ago, so I don't remember anymore. I don't remember most of this knowledge anymore after I realized it's just me. But Maya is like illusionary abilities that gods possess to create illusions or something like that. Why do you think they called themselves the Mayans? If everything happens for a reason and nothing's an accident, it's almost like they were calling themselves illusionary people. Honestly, some of those Aztec rituals and stuff are very weird, like sacrificing, you know what's, I'm just going to say. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's you. Be authentically you, and you will embody your God state. I'm out of here. Much love. And shift the world, your world.